Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all of us out there know that times are rather tough right now. A lot of people are cutting back all over the place. There's a lot of restriction, a lot of contraction out there in the economy, out there in the world, whether it be Western civilization, whether it be America, or anywhere else connected, honestly, globally at this point. So we understand where times are tough and cost cutting has to be made. And sometimes you just got to go with something that's a little not as good quality before, just because in order to make the buck, in order to make it passable, in order to kind of get by things. Trust me, all of us understand that. All of us understand tightening your budgets. But there are certain things out there that I think violate anybody's basic moral senses in any way, shape, or form when you find out about the fact that, there are certain lines you just don't cross. No matter how many times no matter how broke you are, no matter how much, how bad things are going, certain people would never steal, right? No matter how bad things they got, they believe, or they've been in a situation where they would never steal. Some people, it's the direct opposite. Some people do whatever they have to get by, survive. But I think all of us can probably agree that utilizing a country and their citizens to get cheap labor and to get cheap animation done on a show that we know is an absolute hit, on a company that literally has practically more money than God, as the old saying goes. I mean, literally, they have billions upon billions of dollars that they're literally just been peeing away on things like Rings of Power and all of these other kind of shows that have just failed miserably. What was the other one? The Wheel of Time series, right? Like all of this kind of stuff that they've just spent billions of dollars on that's failed miserably. The absolutely tragic and disgusting last season of The Expanse was just absolutely abysmal. Like all of this kind of stuff we've seen happen sometimes. This is a company that's got plenty of money to burn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, according to some accusations that are going on out there and some more evidence that has now come to forward, it looks like the billion-dollar behemoth that is Amazon is deciding to use North Korean labor, a country that is completely and totally totalitarian in every way, shape, or form. They even teach their children in their schools that their supreme leader doesn't even use the bathroom to poop. Okay? That country, Amazon, allegedly is going to for cheap labor for Invincible and so many other projects as well. Whether or not all this is true, well, we're going to look at the evidence and as always, let you decide. So we're going to get this article from our dear sweet friends over at bleedingfool.com, getting all the juicy details and see exactly what is going on. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already. And let me know what you think about the North Korean labor for your favorite animated project down below. Invincible, Lion Forge, and other animated projects now tainted by North Korea. A follow-up to our reporting on this a few days ago, but according to Machini, an animation company in the still communist North Korea was discovered to have possibly worked on both an anime production in Japan and even Amazon's Invincible cartoon in the US. North Korean animators are believed to have worked on programs produced by Japanese and U.S. studios despite sanctions against doing business with the country, a research report released Monday said. And that's the big deal, right? Because of the way North Korea treats its population, they treat their citizens. We don't do business with the company because we know that any money we funnel into that country is going to go directly to the regime and is not going to benefit the people as a whole in any way, shape, or form. That's why we don't do businesses with countries like that. Weird. Maybe somebody should tell them about China. U.S.-based website 38 North, which covers events related to North Korea, said that the documents accessed online show that the programs worked on included Dali in Bloom, a Japanese animation series due to air from July, and a third season of Invincible, produced by California-based Skybound Entertainment and to be broadcast on Amazon Prime. The report said there is no evidence to indicate the studios knew that part of their projects had been outsourced to the North Korean animators. Well, maybe they didn't know. But when you're in charge, when you're management, when you're the one overseeing all of this kind of stuff, at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. So were you simply not paying attention enough to know this was happening? Or did you not care enough? Or were you simply trusted the wrong entity? We don't know. But those are questions that Amazon and everybody else involved in this need to answer. Even so, this certainly sounds scandalous. Animation Magazine has more. A new report from the researchers at Washington-based North Korea watchdog Program 38 North raises flags that the animation artists in the country have worked on animated projects from overseas studios. Files discovered on a DPRK internet server included animations, written instructions, and comments that appear related to certain productions and appear to be tied to subcontracting work from Chinese studios. Now, here's the other thing about that as well, boys and girls. The contractor, the people actually creating this, what's the little company over here called that's out there in California, right? The one that they have out here, the California Skybound Entertainment. Skybound should have known this. Maybe Amazon at the top levels didn't know, but someone at Skybound should have known. 38 North revealed that potentially involved productions include Season 3 of Amazon MGM Studios' Skybound Entertainment's Invincible for Prime Video. Files contain both the series title and that of the Skybound subsidiary, Virtuum Pants LLC, the production labeled behind the show. Skybound told Reuters it has no knowledge of North Korea studios working on its animation and has initiated an internal review as well as notifying and cooperating with proper authorities because, once again, this is a violation of the law. Also possibly impacted is Inua, based on the African superhero comics created by Unique Studios, being produced by Lion Forge Entertainment for Cartoon Network and Max. No additional comment from the studios and streamers were offered. Color us shocked there. So Cartoon Network and Max isn't saying anything about this. Unique Studios isn't saying about this. Lion Forge isn't saying anything about this. And clearly we don't have a statement from Amazon either. And Amazon, you're the face of this show. You're the ones where everybody goes. You should probably be saying something. But then, of course, you don't have any problem with Chinese labor. So color us shocked there. And of course, full disclaimer, I am an Amazon Prime member. I do use Amazon on a regular basis. But at the end of the day, we have to also understand that, yes, we live in a world that is set up in a way that we don't like. And just because we have to use something that we might necessarily agree with, guess what? We can still call this stuff out as long as we recognize and understand our own sins. Because guess what? Every one of you out there has got a smartphone, whether it be iPhone or otherwise. And guess what? That wasn't made with the best labor practices out there either. So enjoy your social medias on your smartphone. While this could be telling, too, China's a communist-led country as well. And even if North Korea wasn't cited as an issue here, China's involvement still raises some red flags. It sure embarrasses whatever reputation Skybound has along with Invincible. Lion Forge could also be tainted by the news. What this makes clear is that if Japanese and U.S. studios involved really don't want to embarrass themselves, they're going to have to check carefully what sources are involved in the development of their productions. This does not look good for the studios involved in Japan or the U.S. of A. Absolutely, they're right. And they need to address this. They need to talk about this, and they need to make sure stuff like this never happens again. If it was just an accident and you didn't know, fine, whatever. Establish a situation where this never happens again. If you did know, well, there's a whole lot of different consequences for that. So whether or not you love any of these shows, whether or not you're interested in any of this kind of stuff, nonetheless, this is something that we all need to be well aware of because Amazon is a huge player in the market, if not one of the biggest, if not the biggest. And we need to be well aware of who they're working with and what they're doing so we can call them out and hold them accountable for it. Because at the end of the day, that's the only way fans are going to get what they want is when they hold these mega corporations accountable for their actions and what they do.